podcast you're about to listen to will be discussing and spoiling movies throughout the duration of the show. It is also riddled with bad language, so if that's not your thing, well, we tried to warn you.
And now, before I tell you the full story of our voyage, I'm going to ask the gentlemen of the press to come forward, so that the audience may have the privilege of seeing them take the first photographs of Kong and his captors. All set, Jack? Okay. Make it a good one. Shoot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of Monster Madness, a podcast dedicated to all sorts of creature features. My name is Erika Gwynn, and I am but one of your humble hosts. Join with me on this episode is a beauty and a beast. We have with me Daniel Gwynn.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Daniel Gwynn.
And Matt Stein.
Who is who? Excuse me. Whom is who? Who is whom? Just edit the correct English into the episode, please.
Well, I don't know which one it is, and I'm going to leave that for you two to decide who's the beauty and who's the beast.
Who's it was it?
Who's on first?
Who's it? What?
Who?
Huh?
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 All right. Before we get into the first episode of Season 2, we have some housekeeping. You can find Monster Madness on your preferred podcast listening platform, so please make sure you are subscribed so you can get our new episodes as they drop. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and just about every other conceivable social media outlet. Just search for Monster Madness and we should be there, or follow the links in the show notes. If we don't show up, let us know. We'll join. Or I'll join because they don't do anything. You can also reach us by email at monstermadnesspod@gmail.com. We are working on a website, but hold your breath on that one. You can also support the show by buying merch on teepublic.com or by becoming a Patreon. And lastly, I know this is a very dragged out intro, but we do have a very cool announcement with Season 2. If you follow us on social media, you will already know that Monster Madness is now on Himalaya, which is a really awesome network, and we're also on their cool feature, Himalaya Plus. If you choose to subscribe to the show on Himalaya Plus, you will get our episodes before the regular feed. They will be ad-free and much, much more within that fun little community. So check that out if you're interested. It's only, I believe, $4.99 a month to have access to all that content. So, if you remember in Season 1, we cover Universal monster movies and their modern adaptations, and that was the best title I could come up with at the time. So, on Season 2, we're doing things a little bit differently. The theme of this season is larger than life.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ba-da-bum.
LARPer than knife?
Sure.
Meant to say LARPer than life. It was just
Wait, what does LARPing mean something? What does that mean?
live action role playing.
Thank you. In this season, we will be covering creature features on a more gargantuan scale. So I think you can kind of
That means large.
Good job, Daniel. Proud of you. So with that, we are kicking off this season with 1933's King Kong, directed by Merian C. Cooper and Ernest Schoedsack. I'm sorry if I mispronounced his last name. I don't think he's still alive, but sorry. And starring the beautiful Fay Wray, Robert Armstrong, and Bruce Cabot.
They're going to say Bruce Campbell. I got excited.
Bruce Campbell? No, I don't think he was alive in 1933.
No.
He was not.
He was probably negative 30 years old.
Probably.
There's one quick way to answer this question. Don't hate on the sound of my keyboard. Negative 28. He was born in 1961. He's 6'1".
Ooh,
Nice.
it's a tall fella for
Me
back
too.
in the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know what's going on.
I literally felt your head whip when I said I'm 6'1".
No, you're not.
No,
You're both very compact people.
I'm a solid 5'8".
The best things come in small packages.
I didn't. My wife is 5'1.5".
That's true. I did feel tall when I stood next to her. I was like, oh,
How do you think I feel?
wait, how tall are you?
Like 5'11"?
I'm surprised you were like, I'm 6 feet.
I'm not though. Like I think at one point I wanted it to be, and then I think I started shrinking.
So you just keep pointing your toes out.
Just-
I'm 6 foot.
I have an inversion table, and I just do that to try and stretch myself out to be 6 feet.
There you go.
Yeah, hasn't worked yet.
There you go.
I've also never actually tried it.
Okay.
Good version table. It's just hanging there. waiting for you.
I mean, it's in my basement.
I'd be scared to get on. I'd be like, I can't get out.
I just come home.
My phone falls on the floor. I'm just trying to reach for it to text her. Come get me.
The first time I used one, the guy didn't, it was my buddy's, and he didn't like lock it on my feet. So I was like holding on for dear life, and eventually I just kind of like whoop, slipped out.
That'd be the story for me too.
I need to be honest with you both. I have no idea what type of apparatus you're talking about.
It's so you know how we have the ab chair?
Yeah.
It's like the ab chair, but it keeps going up until you're upside down, and it's supposed to like stretch out your spine.
Yeah, so you lock your feet in, and then you tip yourself back, and you hang by your feet.
No, I'm good.
So your spine realigns.
Oh.
Yeah,
From
it's
gravity.
really awesome for back decompression
Oh, okay.
and rushing all the blood to your face.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So Dan, you want to start talking to us about this movie?
I guess I could do that.
Before, actually, I'm sorry.
Nope.
I wanted to state that this movie, because
You
we're
go
trying
first.
to be a little bit more in depth this season, a little bit more professional. Matt's got his professional hairdo on.
I just didn't wash my hair today, so it's very malleable.
Girl, same. This
Did you say gross or girl?
I said girl, same. Girl, comma, same.
Oh, yeah, it's the dry months in Wisconsin, so I can't wash my hair too much because my head gets itchy.
Oh.
They got special shampoo for that.
Yeah, shit's expensive.
Head and Shoulders?
That stuff's bad for you.
It is. It does cause dandruff.
Yeah, stuff's really bad for you.
Gotta use that organic stuff I got in the.
Smells like poop.
Yeah, the orgasmic stuff that you got.
Yeah,
Mm.
the good stuff.
This movie, King Kong, got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, which really doesn't mean anything. It's a bunch of fanboys on Rotten Tomatoes, but I thought that was pretty cool. The budget was $672,000, which Matt loves to look up, and box office $5.3 million. I think that's accumulated over like a lot of years though, because they re-released it. But whatever. Also, some taglines for this film. There's a bunch actually, and I know exactly which one Matt's gonna laugh at. First one: a monster of creation's dawn breaks loose in our world today.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Are you
Sorry.
being sarcastic?
Yes.
Okay. You genuinely sounded excited, so I wasn't sure. A+ for that acting.
Thank you.
The most amazing show on any screen, adventure to make you wonder if it's true, in all caps, while your very eyes convince you that it is, in all caps. King Kong comes. See? Immaturity.
So my problem with the first was there only those three or are there more?
No, there's 5 more.
There's the one they see
Jesus
at the end
Christ.
of the movie.
I think because 1933, like their taglines, I don't.
We're
It's
like a
not-
fucking paragraph. Let's pare it down there, 1933.
Hold on. I got a couple more. Okay, so next one is a thundering box office giant. His footsteps thundering a reborn showmanship. That makes literally no sense to me. Next one, most startling picture since the talkies. I have no idea what that
What's
means.
the talkies?
I have no idea.
Somebody tell us what that is.
It's they called the like movies talkies when they started having audio in them.
Oh.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I'm dead fucking serious. That's what it is.
Oh my God, you actually have knowledge? We don't?
Yeah, sometimes I drink and then I read the internet.
Okay. The next one is the most awesome thriller of all time. It's a bold statement. Next one, outleaping the madness imaginings, out-thrilling the wildest thrills. And finally, the strangest story ever conceived by man.
Ooh.
Those are the taglines for King Kong. Not what I expected, to be honest with
Doesn't
you.
really describe King Kong at all.
No, funny story. When I was looking up King Kong on IMDb, I accidentally typed King Dong.
Oh boy.
Oh, boys. Did you watch the wrong movie?
And I stopped, but then I was like, I wonder if there's a pornography film called King Dong.
Is there?
I gotta look it up.
Please do.
Well, I'm going to. They do have adult films on IMDb, so unless it's an uncredited film, like a real indie jammer.
If there isn't a porno out there named King Dong, then that is just a huge missed opportunity, and we're copywriting it right now.
King Dong 2011. That was easy. It's only on Rotten Tomatoes.
But it is a porno though, right?
I don't know. There are no approved quotes for the movie. Oh yeah, it's 23 minutes long.
There really wouldn't be a lot of talking.
That's what I'm saying. So like, what are the quotes going to be like? Oh, fuck yeah.
Ew.
Oh, boy.
Oh no.
I feel so gross.
Should we take a break so that everyone can take a shower?
Yes, a bleach shower. Dude, get that out. Ey,
Oh boy.
please start talking about the movie, Daniel. Tell me about it. What happened?
All right.
Camera. Look up slowly, Ann. That's it. You don't see anything. Now look higher. Still higher. Now you see it. You're amazed. You can't believe it. Your eyes open wider. It's horrible, Ann, but you can't look away. There's no chance for you, Ann. No escape. You're helpless, Ann. Helpless. There's just one chance. If you can scream, but your throat's paralyzed. Try to scream, Ann. Cry. Perhaps if you didn't see it, you could scream. Throw your arms across your eyes and scream, Ann. Scream for your life.
Starts off on a dock. Two men are talking about a famous director that's going to make a new movie picture film starring a beautiful girl. And the person that's talking about this is Carl Denham, and he still hasn't found his actress. So he decides to go into town to find this beautiful woman, and he stumbles upon a girl attempting to steal some fruit from a stand.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I have issues with like the first 20 minutes of this movie, but you can continue.
Oh, how they're in line waiting for food, and it's all women? That line?
No, because it was like a woman's...
Because I thought that was weird too.
Why are women getting food?
No, I was just like, why is there more than just... If there's like homeless people, why is it only women?
Well, there was a sign above it. It was like a women's shelter.
I missed the sign.
It's okay. My issue with the first 20 minutes of this film is the fact that it is so misogynistic and sexist, and I almost turned it off because I didn't remember when I watched
this like twice already though.
No, well, we watched it once like a long time ago, and like I had it on in the background, and that's what kind of was the inception of Monster Madness. I was like, I'd love to talk about these movies like with someone.
And it just ended up being you two.
Yeah, and then Matt was like forced into it. But I guess I really didn't pay attention too much to the dialogue. And like I would even say like the first half hour.
Well, I think it goes pretty quickly. Like within the first 10 minutes, they end up on the boat.
Yeah,
Spoiler.
but it was just like, he's just like, a lady shouldn't be here. A lady. Fucking, I just need a pretty lady. And can we just talk about it? He grabs this girl who saves this girl Aladdin style from stealing fruit, who's like homeless and all this other stuff. And he literally just puts her in a cab, doesn't say anything to her. They don't literally introduce each other like name wise until they're
on the boat.
No, in the restaurant. Like,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, by the way, sugar tits,
And he's like, here, eat more food.
Yeah, I'm a director.
I mean,
have some coffee.
This was 1933.
Oh, I
so
understand.
Put your feminism away.
But it hurt my brain. I will never put my feminism away.
I've noticed.
Ever.
So at this point, they're in the diner eating some food, getting some coffee. He asks her, have you ever acted before? She said she's done some things.
Probably porn.
No, I think maybe it's more theater.
She was in King Dong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Starring. So yeah, so Carl convinces her to go and make his movie, and they head back off to the ship. So Anne is excited to go on this amazing adventure. She doesn't really know where she's going. She just knows that she's going to make some money. She's going to star in this new movie, and she's taking this all in. She's observing what's going on the boat, and she realizes that she's also the only woman on the boat, and the crew have like an issue about that, saying that once again, this is no place for a woman.
It's not the captain, but it's like the second mate.
Yeah.
Or whatever, who...
the deckhand or something.
Big fucking shark, they fall in love. But he's just like, I'm not comfortable with you here. This isn't a place for a lady. I'm like, oh, God.
Well, what were they going to do? Like go to Skull Island without her and then just Photoshop her in later?
I understand that they needed her to go to Skull Island. I get that.
They reference it as Skull Mountain.
Skull something.
I thought they said Skull Island. There's something about, well, I guess.
Well, there is a movie, Kong Skull Island, that came out.
Right, but the line in the movie, I believe, was it's something about an island with a mountain of a skull or something. Anyways, all I heard was Skull Island.
Yeah, that's what
Either
they
way.
They never really name it.
Skull area.
Skull location.
The skull location, yeah, I get that she needed to go there. I don't think she needed to be harassed the whole time.
Do you think they knew about Kong on the ship? Because the captain knew about the wall already.
They had no idea what Kong was.
Yeah, they just knew that like the people chanted all the time.
Yeah, which like that's a real risky.
Like, we're gonna go to this island that's never seen normal humans probably, and let's go see what Kong is.
You mean like first world people?
Yeah.
because it's all like
Indigenous.
Thank you.
I'm 2 for 2 on facts.
True. I'm still just stuck on the raging
It's okay.
sexism. So continue.
But
let's get to Kong.
The next movie.
I understand.
Kong.
I understand. Can you stop yelling dong, please?
I said Kong.
I agree with that it is super sexist in favor of men, but...
There's no but.
But the but is that it's a movie from the 30s. And I understand that you know that, and that's not going to stop you. I'm just saying, like...
Nothing will stop me. Continue, Daniel.
So eventually, Anne starts practicing her filming techniques with the director.
I like that scene.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
It's
just
not
because...
too up there for you?
No,
Like, oh, let's get your good side.
No, I'm not talking about the dialogue, but the whole that scene's very infamous. Like her Fay Wray's scream, the girl who plays Anne
that's the
Darrow.
first time you hear her scream. He's like,
that's a very infamous scream and scene, and I appreciate that moment. You know, and here's my thing: Fay Wray, or Anne Darrow, I should go by her character's name. Anne Darrow like does clap back at these like misogynistic fucks, and she's just like, I have just as right to be here as you, which I was like, yeah, girl power. But at the same time, she's still like, dainty little damsel in distress. Just bothers me. I'm done. I'm gonna rant a lot, but
No. I was trying to think if there was a way, like if she wasn't the damsel in distress, would the movie have played out the same?
well, there had to be something in distress because
Right.
King Kong loves her. Which this is another movie, guys, where I'm gonna say it now, where I'm sorry, but Kong is just misunderstood, and a lot of things are taken out on him that shouldn't be, and I'm upset about it. He just wanted a friend.
maybe.
What do you mean maybe? Get to it, and then I'll rant.
All right, so they're on this boat. Eventually, they hit a huge fog. So as the fog clears out, they finally see the skull mountain, and they plan to board, to get off the ship and go over to the island. So they get on their rowboats and they head on over, and they stumble upon your ingenious people.
Your what people?
Did I say that wrong?
Indigenous.
That's what I said. So they're hanging out there. They're having a little ritual going on. They're screaming Kong, 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 and they're getting another woman ready for an offering.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the camera guy Carl is just like, oh, I gotta film this. So he starts bringing out his camera. Carl.
This is I really like this part. Sorry to interrupt you. But when the guy's looking and he goes, oh, come over here and look at it. And then the guy just from around just goes, and he just he probably could have seen, but he had to go around into the clearing.
Yeah.
Got me right in the laugh box.
Well, there was one moment of enjoyment.
So he's there cranking his camera, starts filming. You can see the big wall behind them in its magnificent glory. And then they get spotted.
Of course they did. There's like 20 people just standing there with a huge camera that they have never seen before in their lives, but whatever.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the skipper knows how to speak their native tongue. That kind of threw me for a loop. Is what language are they speaking?
You know what this reminded me of? Have you ever seen those I mean I've read the articles on like National Geographic and stuff like that, is when they like send those fucking drones over like areas of like rainforest in the Amazon that literally have not had any type of like, there's tribes there that have never made contact with the modern world.
Yeah, can we just leave them alone?
Yeah, that's my number one gripe.
Yeah.
Obviously, leave them the fuck alone. I know that they do like checks on them to make sure that they're still alive. I'm just like, well, let them be. They want to be left alone. But my favorite one is that there's a picture of one of them spotting like the drone and throwing a fucking spear at it.
Whoa!
Here it goes.
Spear.
Yeah. Well, they've shot like bow and arrows and stuff at them too.
Oh yeah, like
and rocks. What's what's it called? The tomahawk, the slingshots,
like
where
a
they
slingshot.
Slingshot, yeah.
I forget what it's called. It's a special type of slingshot where they put the rock in and
It's gonna be
spin
slingshot.
around and they throw it at.
Yeah, it's just like I feel bad for these people that just want to be left alone. They want no part of the modern. I don't even think they know. They think that's like some probably like fucking alien or something.
Well, not in this instance, because they scoop up Anne and
they do. They're just like, we buy her.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, she's beautiful. We need to give her to Kong.
Yeah, but they say no, and then they take her back to the ship, and then they kidnap her.
Yep.
But, whatever.
They kidnap her.
That's sad.
And did you find it?
I think it's It's kind of like a blurry picture of two tribes people just throwing a fucking spear.
Yeah, they probably think it's like...
I don't know what I expected, by the way. Like, that is exactly what you said it was.
Yeah, I didn't lie.
Yeah. They retreat back to the ship, and the villagers secretly get onto the boat and steal Anne away and bring her back to the wall to offer her off to Kong. And at this point, they start chanting again, and then you see they open up the wall, and you finally see Kong, and he comes up and he takes her away.
Mm-hmm.
And for this point, what did you think for the first time you saw him?
I mean, when I first saw the movie, I mean, I was a lot younger, but like watching it again, I mean, for 1933, I'm fairly impressed with the scope of the whole film. Like, they kind of have a little bit of everything. They have a love story. They have action, which was fairly interesting and cool to see how they did that. They had an underwater scene at one point, which we'll get to. They have a lot in this film. They have dinosaurs. Like, come on. I loved it. I mean, I love King Kong. Like, I think...
Do you think this, like, scared people back then?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, because you have to think, 1933, you have movies like that had come out a couple years before, like Dracula, Frankenstein, like we talked about last season, and those movies terrified people. So now you have this story of a giant primate is something that they know. They've, at this point, people have seen what gorillas look like. Zoos exist. They know what this creature is. It was more realistic of a creature of that magnitude to actually be real versus, like a Frankenstein type deal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like a hidden monster.
Exactly. It's like people knew that dinosaurs were real. So it's like, well, there's really nothing saying that this isn't something that could be.
Do you think the effects were good? Because at that point, they actually had her being picked up by something.
For 1933, I think this was groundbreaking for them. Because you have to think, it's stop motion. He's just a metal little guy that they're literally just taking a picture of every, time he moves. He has fur on him that's, I believe, made out of like a clay that they literally would have to brush to kind of fix all the time, because their fingerprints, like the claymation guys, like their fingerprints would always fuck up the fur.
Yeah, that's why when he's walking, he looks like kind of uneven.
They did their best to kind of like hide that, but they couldn't. So most people thought it was just kind of like a wind effect of the fur, but it's like, no, it's just the stop motion guys' fingerprints. But no, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
How many movies do you think came out in 1933? The entire year?
The entire year? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be lower or higher than I expect?
Probably considerably lower.
A dozen.
Daniel?
Am I guessing?
If you want to.
Of course, you're part of this.
I'm going to go with like a solid 25.
19.
Ooh, look at you.
There was only 2 days that 2 movies came out.
Really? Like the whole year?
They all came out the whole...
Yeah.
So it was like one came out in January. Let me get the list up again. January 27th, Goldie Gets Along. Then there was one on February 8th and 9th, 17th, March 9th, March 31st, April 7th, King Kong came out, which was by far the most successful movie. A lot of these made $0. Like revenue to date is 0. March 31st, and May 6th were the only days that a movie was released that 2 movies came out at once. Like, that's weird to think about because 5 movies come out every Friday now.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. It's like in this day and age of not only just blockbusters and just movies in general, like actually going to the cinema to see a movie, but now that there's a billion streaming services, there's just like content coming out the ass. Like if you probably couldn't even calculate like, oh, like, because, like right now, like the hottest thing in the world right now is The Mandalorian. That comes out every Friday on Disney Plus. And then you have like all these new shows that are like trying to hop on that bandwagon. Like, oh, we're going to, release our whole season here, blah, 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 blah. It's just so much content. I think like if you took someone from like had a time machine, grabbed someone from 1933 and implanted them here, their brain would fucking explode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there's just so much of everything.
Exactly. It's like, so hard to keep up with the times now. I would feel so at ease probably in 1933, apart from the raging misogyny.
Right. I remember getting dial-up internet and like I would start to connect and then I would go and do something and then come back.
Yep.
And it was like, that's all you could do. And now,
Hot Pockets.
Yeah, now I can like do 3 things on the internet at once.
It's insane. We've become such a generation.
So spoiled.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, we are a generation that is A, spoiled, and B, we are so overstimulated. It's unreal. Like, I was at work tonight and I barely had any work to do. So I literally...
Don't tell anybody.
It's fine. They know that I had no work to do.
It was a very hard night.
I literally wrote my to-do list, because I do a to-do list. I write it every night for my next day to kind of keep my life a little bit
organized.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah.
I wrote my to-do list while I was at work. I sent out like 4 emails that I needed to get out. I did some schoolwork and I wrote stuff for this show. It's just like I did all that stuff literally with a square that I hold in my pocket. You know, it's crazy. We have little computers around us at all times. It's just like unlimited information. It kind of like overwhelms me sometimes when I think about it. I didn't think we were going to get this deep with King Kong, guys.
So at that note, let's get back to the movie.
I can do this with my phone. Maybe. Do the thing, phone. Oh, I
don't know.
changing the wrong
Fuck,
fucking
I want
lights.
to go back to 1933, stupid phone. Oh, snap.
Oh, you got more?
Yep.
For all you people out there listening, Matt is disco lamping.
Yeah.
You look crazy right now. Like your camera keeps trying to focus too.
That's so much red.
Like,
Oh, God.
Strobe lights
it's like I'm
going
tripping.
I fucked up. All right. I'll stop. I swear.
If King Kong was a color, it was a black and white movie, but like, what light would it reflect?
Real funny. So the lights in our bedroom are also in this app, and I was changing the color in there, and I'm just waiting for Alyssa to text me to tell me that it's green in the bedroom.
Oh, come on.
Oh. She's going to yell at me so much.
I love that woman.
She's all right.
She makes me laugh.
Okay, sorry. I'll stop fucking with lights.
Color?
What's that?
You don't want to make it Packers colors, you know?
I mean, I could, but I don't feel like that's going to like get her in the mood.
Like
I don't
solid
know.
green one?
At least they're fucking
That's
team
true. They
wins.
did win this weekend. It did not last weekend though. Last weekend was a hard weekend in the Stein house. Sorry, back to the movie.
Yeah.
All right. As King Kong approaches the wall, he grabs Anne, and we see the famous scream as he picks her up.
Yes.
What'd you think of that scream?
I think Fay Ray has some pipes.
Oh, for fucking sure.
Yeah, I thought that was a good famous scene. I liked watching that. That was pretty cool.
You know, I read a weird fact about her. Hold on, let me check to see if it's actually in the fucking questions of the damned. I don't think it is because it was way too obscure and nobody would ever get that.
How do we could impress you. You never know.
Yeah. No. When Fay Ray passed away,
This was playing in the emergency room.
when she was taken to,
She screamed.
yeah. Why did you just read that?
I knew that.
Oh, but that's like one of those things that they kind of say about like a lot of famous people. It's like they said that when John Lennon was either in the ambulance or in the emergency room that the Beatles were playing on the radio or something. It's just like, how do you know? All My Lovin', that was playing. Yeah, All My Lovin'. Paul McCartney was singing All My Lovin' as John Lennon was dying. I was like, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I doubt that's true. So don't toy with me that way.
Have you ever seen PCU?
I don't think so.
It's like a comedy movie from the 90s. But it's about like burnout college kids, but there's one guy in like the party house that the movie revolves around that is writing his thesis and I can't remember the actor, but he goes, the point is that at any time you can find this actor's movie on cable TV. Point being, I feel like if you try hard enough, you could find the Beatles on the radio at any point in time.
100%.
Because there's so much of it and they're so popular. So like the actual odds of that happening, albeit kind of ridiculous and slim, not that slim.
Yeah, no, but I like the whole idea was that like John could hear Paul saying like All My Lovin's being sent down to you as he's like leaving this memorial coil. I'm like, You want me to cry? Because I'll cry. Don't tell me that story. I'm a huge Beatles fan. I don't know if we've ever dived into that, but I'm a very big Beatles fan. You can't be a member of my family unless you're a Beatles fan. It's kind of one of those things. It's very ingrained into my life. But before we move on, though, with the movie, Dan, I would like to take a quick break. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the second half of King Kong.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Back to the movie. The crew sees Kong capture Anne, and they chase after her. So they go through the fence, or the big wall, and they run into, now one of your favorite parts, dinosaurs. Going on. What type of dinosaur was that? Because I do not know off the top of my head.
It starts with an S.
There's a fucking pterodactyl.
Well, yeah, there's a pterodactyl. There's
Come
a
on.
T-Rex.
No. The first
Triceratops?
one was the big...
Stegosaurus.
Yep, that's it.
Why
That's
are you
it.
screaming.
It's really exciting. I like dinosaurs, okay?
Well, not enough that you knew the
I
fucking name.
like Totos.
No, I could never... That's one thing about me. Things with very long names or long words in general, I am not good at memorizing them.
It's something saurus.
Exactly. It is a saurus. So it's the long one. Pointy, brown, maybe. Some sort of color, since we don't know.
You guys are priceless.
Thanks.
So they come across a saurus. Like that.
I do.
And they're like, oh my gosh, dinosaurs.
I know, and they just fucking shoot it. Hold on. Before you continue, these people have come to this land. They are invaders. They are not,
They're Americans. What did you think was going to happen?
Right.
Not all of them are American, I don't think. But they're literally coming to this place, not invited. They're just like, hey, we're showing up. We're going to do what we want because, fuck yeah, that's who we are. They break this tribe's tradition of, giving Kong a sacrifice, which isn't nice to begin with, to, sacrifice one of your own to a fucking giant gorilla.
But to them, they don't know any different.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's like history everywhere.
Leaning over that, they invade
time.
their rituals, and then to save Anne, because she got herself into a little pickle, they run into a fucking dinosaur. Now, if I saw a dinosaur, I would probably weep, because that is like so incredible. It's so rare. They're extinct for millions of years, whether you want to fucking believe that or not, because some people out there that I know don't believe in dinosaurs, but I don't want to get into that.
How do you not believe in dinosaurs? There's
I
fucking
don't
bones.
want to get into it. Just makes me angry.
Sorry for you listeners that don't believe in dinosaurs. I do.
Don't listen to our show if you don't believe in dinosaurs, because guess what? Dinosaurs are coming up.
There goes all our listeners.
Shit.
They fucking open fire on this thing.
He does throw a grenade at the Stegosaurus.
Oh, it's a gas grenade, right?
Yeah, to disorient it. And then the fucker rightfully charges them because it's like, you just tried to fucking kill me and I'm an
And
animal.
Isn't that dinosaur a grass eater? Vegetarian?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
pretty
it's a
sure.
carnivore. I think it's a herbivore. But
That's what it is.
You're welcome.
You got the words.
I know. But they fucking kill it.
Just shoot it in the eye.
That's a big trophy. They're probably going to take it home.
No, I think they just fucking left it there.
I would have took a piece home. Or like a scale or something.
Okay, first of all, horrible. Second off, I would not talk to you if you killed a dinosaur. They're so precious. You know how much fucking they went through?
No.
They've been extinct.
You're so precious.
I would be more interested in how he raised the dinosaur from the dead to kill it.
That's a good point.
So
I don't think bullets would pierce that thing.
clearly, you're a necromancer. And now we're getting into some whole other shit.
Truth.
So, as they're chasing after Kong, they kill the first dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go into a lagoon and some other dinosaur starts attacking them. Or lagoon, river.
Oh, yeah, I think that
Possibly.
was actually like a brachiosaurus.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't think that one would attack people either. But
No.
you never know. Could
Well-
be protective over its...
Well, here's the thing. An animal is an animal, no matter if they eat vegetables
Yeah.
or,
I'd be like, get away from me too. So...
I've seen a tortoise chase a dog. So,
So while running away now from the dinosaurs, they run into Kong, and they're all on like this big, huge log type bridge, and Kong starts picking them up, starts shaking them, and they fall into like what seems to be a ravine, big hole.
there's something.
And what is it? Carl lands onto almost a ledge with some vines he's hanging on. And he witnesses all the other people. Do you think they died or a lot of them lived?
I'm 100% sure they died.
They died. So some of them died, Carl's pretty much left by himself. After Kong leaves, he climbs up out of there, and then he's secretly, in the shadows following him back. And then while that happens, we get into a big fight with Kong versus a T-Rex. I knew that one.
Proud of you. Do you know the full name?
Yeah, T-Rex.
No.
Tyrannosaurus Megan. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Is there more to that?
Circle gets the square.
Oh, I was like, Erika didn't tell me I did a good job. I don't know if I did a good job.
So what is it? What's the full thing?
You seriously don't know?
No.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, I know.
You fucking know. How many times have we watched Jurassic Park?
About 100 times, but I'm more just like, ooh, dinosaurs, not really memorizing the names. I'm like, this is cool. Cool looking.
Where'd the goat go?
And now we find out that Dan doesn't know dinosaur names.
Wait, what?
Wait, the goat was just there a minute ago. Now the goat gone.
So Kong gets in a huge fight with the T-Rex, and he rips the T-Rex's mouth wide open and does a little famous scene where he beats his chest and, picks its neck up and drops it back on the ground.
I have an uncle who loves King Kong. Yeah,
That uncle?
Yeah. He loves.
Shout out to Uncle Henny.
Yeah, he loves King Kong. And my one cousin, she's 10, gonna be 11 now. But when she was a toddler, he taught her the King Kong oop. So she would literally just walk around and do like the King Kong walk and just go oop all the time. Every time he did it, I started cracking up because that's all I thought about. I can't believe you remember that. Good job.
Yeah, we used that. I've witnessed that.
Yeah. That's so funny. Continue.
So Carl's once again following Kong in the shadows, and Kong, I guess, gets to, is that his actual home? He's up, he walks into like a cliffside. He puts Anne down onto like a little ledge area where he's overlooking the mountain.
That seemed like his safe space.
So is that the
probably.
top? Is that the top of Skull Mountain?
I guess.
What do you think, Matt? Is that it?
I don't know.
He doesn't know. Nobody knows.
This is where the movie got a little boring for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is put a little bit of the down.
AKA Matt didn't watch it.
It was on.
So as Kong's looking out, admiring the island, Anne's kind of, distraught, passes out again, and then
She passes out a lot.
yeah, and then Kong hears another noise, and he kind of like walks away, and then Carl sneaks up and like picks Anne up and finds rope or.
That's not Carl. That's the
Isn't that Carl?
No.
That wasn't Carl.
No, Carl's not that
I
brave.
thought that was Carl.
It was the what the fuck's his name?
I've been telling the wrong person who's been following the whole time.
Yeah.
You haven't corrected me.
No, I just realized that you're
I thought it was Carl.
Carl.
Well, there's a Carl and a John and a Charles and an Engelhorn.
It's John Driscoll.
Ah, so John is the savior, and he picks up Anne, throws the rope or vine down, and starts climbing down the cliff. Kong comes back and's like, "Where's my woman?"
He gets real mad.
Yeah, he's where's my bride? And sees the rope. He starts pulling it up, and they jump into the water and swim away.
Swim away, Meryl. Swim away.
Swim, not swing.
I know. I was making a joke.
Haha.
Combination of two movies. You ruined it.
You fucked up.
So they return to the ship, and Kong eventually catches up to them, and they smoke him with all these grenades.
Mm-hmm.
Bastards.
Yep. And then they kidnap him and bring him back to the States.
To New York. I feel so bad for him. Kong, the eighth wonder of the world.
When we were watching this and this part happened, Alyssa goes, King Kong is the eighth wonder of the world? What about the fucking pterodactyl? She's really into the pterodactyl.
Oh, yeah, the pterodactyl. That's why he turned away. The pterodactyl tried to take Anne.
Yeah,
And
it's
he
okay.
fought it off.
It's okay.
Whoops.
I love Alyssa. She's so funny.
You gonna text her right now and tell her that?
No.
Do you guys want to get an apartment together? Should Dan and I leave you alone?
I mean, we'd probably get along great. Because I, too, love cheese.
We'd have a huge apartment full of beer.
Yeah.
And
You
Yeah.
two in an
cheese.
apartment?
Yeah. It'd be great.
Oh my
and
God.
beer and fancy lights.
It'd just be like Matt constantly shaking his head at you in disbelief. Lots of beer drinking.
Do you pick up your socks?
No.
I'm not wearing socks.
All right, never mind. We can't live together.
Every day
Can't do it.
I pick up Dan's clothes on his side of the bed and put them in the hamper that's 3 feet from our bed.
I've been wondering who's been doing that. The magic.
Fucking Dobby, the house elf.
That was nerd
No, I got what you're doing.
pushing glasses.
That
I was
was it.
making fun of you.
Look, just because I like Harry Potter.
He's definitely like a Hufflepuff.
No, he's Slytherin.
Yeah,
He's
maybe.
fucking straight evil. Hey, I may have some home decor. I may have,
What's that on the
some
wall?
home decor that says
Fine.
Ravenclaw. But at least I didn't pay for vanity plates.
You have a vanity plate?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it says bitch ass.
What? Where do you get off?
How?
You probably don't want to say what it actually is in case somebody like.
I don't
finds
actually
out
have
what-
vanity plates.
Oh.
I wouldn't talk to you. if
A
you
member
did.
of my family does.
Oh, I was gonna go there. Mustard.
Yeah, Mustard. He's not listening though. Mustard. He probably doesn't even know I do this.
Mustard.
Mustard.
You podcast?
Yeah.
Mustard.
Well, I only have 3 of them and he doesn't even know. Mustard. Dijon mustard.
So, the 8th wonder of the world.
Grey poupon.
Spicy brown.
So, while the 8th wonder of the world's up on its stage, he's passed out, Kong. He wakes up, and guess who's in the crowd?
Baby Jesus. Oh.
Anne. So, he sees Anne. They lock eyes. He starts going into his King Kong type of rage. Breaks out of the ropes and everything that's holding him down.
Yeah, because the Flash is freaking me out. He thinks she's getting attacked.
Yeah. So the flashes freak him out. Everybody starts getting scared. They exit the theater.
I wouldn't fucking be in there. You know what's funny? There's a scene where a guy's walking in and he's just like, I paid $20 for these tickets without looking it up. I'm looking at you, Matt Stein. How much, like, if
Do
you
I
could
think $20 would be
today?
today?
Yeah.
Probably like $1,000.
What do you think, Matt?
Hold on. I'm going to do some math.
Compound interest.
Don't look up an inflation calculator.
I'm not. I'm going based off the fact that I saw what the movie budget was and what it would equate to now. $2,000.
$395. It's $20.
We're both high.
God, we're fucking dumb.
I'd be so fucking rich.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time. If I think about the money that I have in my bank account right now, and if I went back all the way back in time, I'd be rich.
Don't even do that. So what you do is you take all the money you have now, you go back, and you just bet on sports.
Well, yeah, no, I would totally go back to the future and be like Sports Almanac,
Yeah.
and
Where'd you get that idea from?
Back to the Future too. Duh.
I can't lose. Watch that movie enough, but yeah, for sure. Give me any little lick of power, I probably would be corrupt.
Oh God, I'd be a mess.
It's like the age-old question, like, oh, if you had such and such power, what would you do? I'm like, rob a bank.
Not even that. You know what you could do? Take all the money you have now, go back to the day Apple stock went public.
God, don't even say the S word in front of him right now.
Oh.
What?
Then
What?
what happens next in this movie?
I won't talk about that here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, good, because I really have no frame of reference.
No, it's literally the most boring thing in the entire world to me. It's like
I think it's fun.
there's a few things that happen to me in life where I immediately get tired. It's when Dan talks about stock and when I walk into like a home repair store, like a Home Depot, a Lowe's, I literally feel fatigue. I just want to lay down.
When do you do that?
90% of the time, I contemplate going back to the car and just laying down and
That's
just
like when we go to the
taking a
mall
nap.
together.
every time we go to the mall together, we get into a fight.
Neither one of us want to be
Jesus.
there.
But yet we're just like, let's go to the mall.
Yeah,
We don't have a kid today. Let's go to the mall and let's do some shopping. 5 minutes in, we're just like, fuck this.
You guys sound dumb.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But no, I used to go
There's
to
a really
Wait, what? Why do we sound dumb?
because if you understand that something's going to end poorly, yet you continue to do it, that sounds
No,
dumb.
we haven't done it in a long time.
It's probably been
Actually,
a couple years.
no, we go to the mall probably
Separately.
like once a year together usually now, and it's usually around Christmas. And last year we went for Christmas shopping for our daughter, and we did not fight. And we literally said it as we were walking out of the parking lot. We were like, wow, we didn't argue. Because they have...
Did you start to fight then?
No, we were really proud of
Okay.
ourselves because Our daughter loves, obviously, she's, 2
We went there for the Disney store.
There's a Disney store at the mall that's near us, and they're far and few between anymore, and I don't even think that one exists anymore. And the online prices were ridiculous, so we're just like, let's just go to the store, get her the things that we want to get her, and then get out. We actually wound up getting a couple things while we were there, did not fight, and we just acknowledged it on the way out, and we're very proud of ourselves.
Nice. I'm proud of you guys.
Sometimes you have to do things and put yourselves in intense situations.
Adulting.
Yeah. But now I think we're growing as a couple, and we can go with the mall together.
Next week.
We both get too overwhelmed in the mall because he doesn't like when people talk to him, like those like kiosk people, so he immediately gets agitated if they start talking to him.
Beeline it.
Except the one guy who's just like, hey, you kind of look like Jake Gyllenhaal. Here's a card for a modeling agency, and he fucking took it.
I do. I'm like, I'm gonna get a job.
And I had to stand there for 15 minutes and hear about how he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Let's go get my headshots.
I was like, can we fucking leave? Can we leave? Can we leave right now? Yeah. Can you talk about King Kong, please? He escaped.
It was a nice compliment.
He escaped.
King Kong escaped.
Jesus, you're screaming again.
He's looking for Anne. So King Kong escapes. He's looking for Anne because he just locked eyes and saw her. Anne escapes, goes into the building across the street where I guess is her home.
Yeah, her like apartment with
and it's a huge, would you call it a skyscraper or just a big building?
Skyscraper.
The building that she's in, or
yeah, it's
the
like 20
building?
something floors, maybe more.
Yes, it's an apartment building. Yeah.
So King Kong starts scaling the building, and he sees another woman in a bathtub. Is it a bathtub or is it bed? I think it's bed.
Something. He's peeping Tomming.
Yeah, he's peeping Tom. He thinks it's Anne. Pulls her out, and he's like, "Oh shit, this isn't her," and just chucks her.
Peeping Kong. Sorry, I had to say it.
So he keeps going higher and higher. And then finally, he finds her, and he busts through the window, grabs her, and starts scaling the building some more. And then at that point, who's the rescuer? Is it Carl at this point?
Carl doesn't do shit except fuck everything up.
Mm-hmm. Carl sucks.
John Jack is the one because he loves Anne. They're supposed to be married the next day because
So who comes up with the idea? It's John, right?
By the time that they get back to New York, it's like 6 weeks later, and then they have to set up the whole eighth wonder of the world thing. So John and Anne have already planned their fucking life together. They're getting married the next day. All shit goes awry. He breaks out. He kidnaps Anne again, and John comes up with the smart idea to fly planes around King Kong to distract him, so he'll put Anne down so she's safe, and then they can shoot King Kong.
All right, that was a little fast, but that's what happens.
No, I'm just saying. No, that's I didn't kill the ending. I was leaving that for you, but I was just getting to that point.
So if you're wondering, now King Kong is on the Empire State Building.
Correct. Which is infamous shot. And okay, even if you don't like old black and white movies, even if you don't like this movie in general, this is like one of those like cornerstone movies. Like again, just like the Universal monster movies that we talked about last season, like this is one of those movies that like that imagery of King Kong holding on to the side of the Empire State Building as planes surround him, like that's like ingrained in cinema history. Like any cinephile who appreciates film.
I felt bad for him at this point because he
you
finally gets shot and he's like, ow. Like you can see that it hurt him.
I actually just welled up as you said that. I'm such a loser.
You want a tissue?
No, but it does make me sad. Because you know what? In this fucking world...
How'd it make you feel, Matt?
He didn't care.
He was weeping like a little boy.
Yeah, I did not care at all. I was actually screaming, "Get the fucker!" Not at all.
I was really impressed after they finally shoot him multiple times and kill King Kong and he falls to his death, how fast that guy climbed up the ladder to get there.
Well, he was already in the building, like running up to the top of the building. He wasn't like, there wasn't like a ladder on the side of the Empire State Building where he was just like, I gotta get her.
Go look, he's here.
Holy fuck. How many wait, can you look up how many floors are in the Empire State Building?
A lot.
Yup.
Matt, our researcher.
Does the building have a 13th floor?
Or do you guys want to guess?
150 floors.
Daniel?
I'll go with like 95.
102.
Oh, damn. 2 for 2 for you. Okay, so.
I didn't get it.
You're closer.
Yeah, you were closer.
Oh.
Fucking just take the win. Fine.
Is there
you
a
don't fucking
13th?
win.
Is there a 13th floor?
There's never a 13th floor.
That is untrue. The Crown Plaza in Rosemont, Illinois has a 13th floor because I've stayed there twice.
That's cursed.
It's haunted.
Man.
Which is weird because any hotel that doesn't have a 13th floor, the 14th floor is just a 13th floor.
I know, but they just, it's just bad luck.
No, I know. But it's, yeah.
You're probably the asshole. They're like, oh, sir, you're on room, 1402. You'd be like 1302. You just keep correcting them.
So when I was there last, there was some people in the elevator and I was very likely drunk. I was probably also holding 4 beers at once. And
Typical day.
And someone said something about it. And the guy said, and the other person in the elevator, it's a really bad story. And he goes, well, if there is no 13th floor, just the 14th floor is the 13th floor. And I was like, oh my God. And like, I knew it, but.
Mind blown.
How do you know?
Yeah.
It could be just a whole floor. It's just never been touched.
Oh, it's just like an empty slot?
Yeah, they just
It's possible,
skip it.
yeah.
Wouldn't that be fucking... Mm.
I wonder how tall a section needs to be considered a floor.
Probably like
8 feet, maybe.
8 feet, I guess, yeah.
You're the construction dude.
I don't do skyscrapers, but I would think like probably 8 feet.
Well, I think they usually say, 8 to 10 feet is considered one floor?
Yeah,
I guess.
for the most part.
I mean, I'm sure it's not
Isn't that-
that.
Residential is anywhere between 8 to 12.
Yeah, I mean, isn't 10
Right.
feet considered like a story? Like
Yeah.
one story,
Yeah.
I know some shit. But yeah, so they shoot King Kong.
And he falls. He hits the building a couple times. Doesn't put any dents in it.
Oh, they could only do so much.
Yeah, there's that.
But it's just so fucking sad. Like, you know what?
What did King Kong do to you?
Exactly. Like, he wasn't trying to be destructive. He just wanted to be with his buddy. And then there's that cheesy line at the end, which you have written down.
It
Terrible.
wasn't airplanes. It was beauty that killed the beast.
Yeah, that line was really fucking bad, but I mean, it full circle to what he says earlier in the movie. So.
Credits.
I thought that was the tagline.
Damn, if that was the tagline, it would literally give away the entire movie.
Well, they do that today.
Give me one example.
Look at the Star Wars trailer. Pretty sure I know how it's going to
Don't say anything. I don't need that type of heat on me.
Now I'm curious, but I don't want to upset your lovely wife.
But, all right. That was King Kong. First episode of season 2.
You know what that means.
Questions of the Damned.
King Dong. Oh,
Jesus
No.
Christ almighty.
he's not here.
Climb that tower.
Now, if you remember from last season, Matt is our reigning champion.
Son of a bitch. You're going down.
But this season, we reset to 0. Matt will always have that first win. It will go down in history. But now we have a clean slate and we are starting anew. You guys excited?
No.
Mm-mm.
I feel like the questions are going to get harder.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to get
Now that you
harder.
told us all the taglines, you told us how much the budget was.
Well, here's the thing. I never do budget anymore because I found out last season that that's like Matt's little thing.
Yeah,
And he
that's
looks
just
up-
giving him points.
Yeah, that's something I'm really into.
Why don't you just give him the trophy?
I would really wish I was drinking out of my trophy right now.
All right, Daniel, you'll get the first question. You ready?
Yes.
What is the body count in this film? 25 people? 40? 105?
Like dead people or living
Usually
people?
when they say body count, that means death.
Or the popular Ice-T hardcore band.
Oh,
I'm
here
going
we
to go
go.
with the 20. The one that was in the 20s. Was that 25?
25?
Yeah.
Okay, Matt. 25, 40, 105.
40? It's like 100 sounds a little too high.
All right, Matthew. On the 2008 American Film Institute list of the 10 greatest films in the fantasy genre, where do you think King Kong is ranked? Number 1, number 4, number 8.
4.
Shit.
I know.
Oh.
I got to step it up.
Take a deep breath, buddy.
God, he...
don't.
Jesus. What the fuck is wrong with you? Daniel,
Yes.
The effects work on this movie took a year to complete after the movie was finished filming. In that time, Fay Wray filmed 4 other movies. True or false?
True.
Jesus. So happy. You look like Chris Farley when he's that motivational speaker. And he's just like running his arms.
Me?
No, him.
Oh.
When he just got so excited that he got a right answer. All right, Matthew. The poster for King Kong makes him seem like he is 50 feet tall. How tall was he actually in the movie? 20 to 25 feet, 25 to 30 feet, 30 to 35 feet.
25 to 30 feet. Fuck.
What's my question?
20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35.
Wait, you're going too fast for me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What is it?
20 to 25 feet tall, 25 to 30 feet tall, 30 to 35 feet tall.
30 to 35.
At 2 different times in the movie, he was between 20 to 25 feet. One time he is actually like just under 20 feet at 19 feet, and then they upped him to 25 feet. They messed up the little model guy.
Huh.
So that's why there was the expansion. All right, so nobody got that. All right, Daniel. King Kong's roar is the mixture of 2 animals roaring in reverse and then slowed down. What 2 animals were used? Elephant and a lion and a gorilla, a lion and a tiger.
A lion and a gorilla? Why wouldn't they use a gorilla? What?
It's a lion and a tiger.
I suck.
It's okay, babe.
I actually knew that. That was not a guess. So I just want to put that out there.
Wow, I'm impressed.
He's been practicing his words.
Oh, no. Wrong genre.
Now backwards.
All right, Matthew, last question, even though it doesn't really matter at this point. It looks like you might be the winner. But you could get it wrong and then tie it up, and then I don't have any alternative questions because I did not prepare that far in advance.
Well, it's 3-1, and if this is the last question...
Correct. I can't do math. I'm
No,
very
it's all right. It's late. It's
But we're
late.
still going to do the last question. We're still going to do it.
No, it's fine.
How did the writer of this film come up with the story of King Kong? He had a dream about a giant ape climbing a tall building. He had a fascination with gorillas. He stole the idea from his best friend.
He had a dream about an ape on top of a building. Then he wrote the story backwards.
Ding, 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 ding,
I thought
ding.
you watched King Dong first.
Oh. Wow. Matt coming out swinging on the first episode.
Gave me so much shit because I didn't exactly care for the entirety of the movie.
I'm going to have to start studying.
I'm like genuinely impressed. I know we said season 2, we were going to be a little bit more serious. We were going to still have a lot of fun, but we're going to get down to business. You
Business.
guys are bringing it.
Biznass.
You guys are fucking bringing it. I'm impressed. All right, now that we have finished Questions of the Damned, now we move on to, would we ever watch this movie again? I personally would. Despite my gripes about the dialogue in the first half of the movie, once King Kong kind of comes into the picture, 42 minutes into the fucking film, I really enjoy it. I think it's a classic. I think it's something anybody who enjoys watching film should watch. It does have its issues, obviously, but again, it was 1933, and as much as I hate to admit it, that is how people were treated back then. What about you, Daniel?
I would not watch this movie again. I wasn't too keen on it. I'm more excited to eventually watch Godzilla if we get to it. I think that would be more up my alley.
Sounds about right.
So, but that's just me. How about you, Matt?
Oh, I already know this answer.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just, it was too slow. I didn't realize that there was multiple, character changes through different parts. To me, it's
There literally was not.
I didn't pick up on a lot of stuff, and I think it's because I was bored.
Probably.
And I tried something new this time, and I only watched the movie once.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
So maybe that's why I lost Questions of the Day.
Was that hard for you to do? To cap yourself in only once on this gem?
No, it was actually pretty easy because I thought about like, oh, I can watch this, maybe 2 times before we do this, and I didn't get through the first round, like in one shot, and I was like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, you didn't like it when we watched it together like a few months ago. Like we watched it probably.
I thought we watched it like a year ago.
It was like, no, it was
Maybe
after.
even longer
It
than
was
that.
when we got home from Chicago in July. I put this on because then I got the idea for this show, and then I roped you two into it. It was all because I was like, you know what movie I haven't really dived into and I haven't seen since I was like super little? King Kong. I watched it, and then this kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the key scenes, like the scream, the ending.
Yeah.
Even some of the dinosaur stuff. I thought that was really cool,
Yeah.
but the whole storyline, it was just, for me, this was too slow.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, in our banner, for those of you who have seen our banner, it's on Instagram, and I think it's the banner on our Facebook. If you look at it, you can see the outline of a bunch of Universal monsters that we've already covered, but also King Kong is one of them. And he's holding Anne.
I am
cool.
a fan of some of the later movies. I do like some of the newer King Kongs.
Yeah, and we'll get to those
We'll
eventually.
get to them.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Monster Madness. Thank you for coming back for season 2. We have a lot of fun movies in store for you. If you have any suggestions or anything like that, like I said before, you can email us at monstermadnesspod@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on all social medias and just, make sure you are subscribed to the show. If you could give us a rating and review, that would be greatly appreciated, but also don't feel pressured. Don't feel pressured at all. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Deuces.
Thanks again.
The airplane's got him. Oh, no. It wasn't the airplanes. It was beauty killed the beast. Beauty killed the beast.